everybody, welcome into the studio. I'm Andy. Today we're going to talk about guitar plugins, amp simulators, right? In specific. So I've been really curious about the Neural DSP plugin. Seems like everybody under the sun's using them. That's really good guitar players, big players. And I was curious to see how they stack up. Checked out some of their stuff online, like the videos on the product page. It was like, wow. Stuff sounds really, really, really good. So they have free trials. So I got 4 of them. I got Nolly's, the SLO 100, Tim Henson's, and the Abbasi. So for the big plugins, the SLO 100 is what got me in the door. Frankly, I love the Soldano amplifiers. I've owned physical Soldano amplifiers, even Jet City amplifiers. I love everything that guy makes, to be honest. It's fantastic. So I have spent some time now today with these 4 plugins, and so honestly, I thought I was going to buy one of these. I had every intention of purchasing the SLO 100 plugin, really soon, kind of. But I think I've changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to. And the reason is that, these are great plugins, but they're not better than what I have. So that I can't really justify that cost other than just the fact that I love amps and different amps. And these models are really, really good. They're really, really good. They sound like the amps, I think. At least the SLO one does. The other ones are just kind of like, custom built amps for these guys, for these artists and producers. So let's get into them a bit. I'll grab my Strat here. And I'm not going to be, don't come here for guitar playing. I'm just going to be demonstrating tones, more or less. And so generally, and we're going to go from just a general high gain tone, like kind of versatile. You can roll your volume knob back a little bit maybe. And, oops, we're panned. This is my normal guitar tone. This comes from THU Overloud. It's my live tone that I use when I stream live. It's what I have in pretty much all my projects and whatnot. And as that plugin opens, oops, I opened and closed it. Turn my delay back on. Usually that's mapped to a pedal. Yeah, my fingers are cold. So that's a Soldano Hot Rod 100. There's some phaser ahead of it, little compressor. And that's really it. Some delay after it. There's nothing at all fancy going on there, right? So that's THU, and that's their rig player, and that's, like I said, my main kind of basic sound. Another for good measure, their Mesa model. Oops, we're paying. I was tracking some stuff. So this is their Mesa dual rectifier kind of model with a big 412 with Celestians, I think. What's in this? It doesn't say. Modern. Tube screamer in front of it. Should have probably a compressor too, but so that's those 2 sounds kind of. There's a lot of stuff I have. You can get in this this architecture. You can get rigs, kind of. You can buy rigs they're not expensive, like $30-$40. So this is a rig capture of Zach Wild's, one of his rigs. The VL100 is the amp. lead sound, chord sound. There's that phaser. I like that. So, I mean, that's just kind of one example. Then we've got whatever this is, I think. It's got something panned funny, doesn't it? I don't know what that is. But in any event, then you got a bunch of high gain stuff over in here. This one. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff. We've got also some, also some Bogner stuff. Typical Eddie Van Halen. It's a Bogner Ecstasy. Definitely plexi all over that. So anyways, that's kind of, there's a bunch of other stuff. I've got a couple of things that I've kind of added in here, but from the models and stuff, the rig models is just really what I've purchased extra. But so there we are, a little bit of the THU. A little bit of the THU sounds for you. So let's go over to Nolly. This is our first Neural DSP peak. Oops, turned it off. It's called Tone Is In Your Fingers. Here's the default. Now that is an amp tone that I like. Now, I'd have to do something to it because it's a little one-dimensional versus this. I mean, even without the phaser. So one thing I notice about the neural models is that I feel like they all have some tiny amount of like that thing that makes them sound like software, like buzziness. That's not in THU. Your Marshall model. So moving along, let's go to the SLO. Well, I didn't explore Nolly much, did I? Oh yeah, I kind of did. Unless that was another me. So onto the SLO. It's the lead patch. Let's go to default. So I bet you can hear that. What I hear that too. Like there's just this thing in the high frequencies that I don't like in both of these neural plugins. I don't know what that is. Tim Henson. Here's its default. Excuse me. Now I expect this one to be more of a, like some things that sound interesting. Like that. That though. This one's cooler. That's pretty interesting. That's just cool effects, really. This must be his tone. I can't do all that, so we're not going to try and make that tone sound good. No thanks. It's super thin. Not really cool. go to the Abbasi now. Let's see. Holy mid-scoop, Batman. Let's go in factory. 2 scoops, please. Yeah, exactly. So much bass is happening in these tones. It's like holy attack mode. There's so much attack, and I realize there's even a button for attack. Good crunch. Let's go back to those with... Yeah, those are so scooped. I don't care much for that. That's nice. One of those attack monsters. So much delay. Jesus. I can see this plugin is Mr. Metal. Such delay. Sick lead. Titanic. Okay, so that rounds it out for those 4. Yeah, I don't know even how much more I want to mess with them. Like I said, all of them have a kind of a... There's something sparkly going on, like up in the high end and the high range frequency spectrum that I don't like. It's like even after hearing this, after those, makes me want to add some presence and... And let's do, so where's the sag? Just kind of messing around with the attack a little bit here. Yeah, these models are really great, but not for me, I don't think. Best in Nollies is the, but thin still. And so, yeah, that's where I land. No matter how many times I kind of run through and you know, listen to these, I can't come up with a decision to buy. So we can also here's stereo tracks, right? Here's the Nolly. Sounds pretty damn good. Tracked, right? Try some others. Sounding pretty tight. Let's back up to full volume. Yeah, so far THU wins that one. Let's see about these Soldanos. So I've got, I'm just checking that I have different tones on this. Sorry, forgot the stereo. The Abasi. So heavy. Now let's add a mid-gain center channel. So I'll show you what this does. We've been listening to stereo tracks before we close this off. We're about done, and we'll just go ahead and add my amp in there, the Overloud. I'll show you a really simple center track tone. All these tracks are totally unaffected. I may have a bus compressor on the master bus, but no, not even really. So, center track, we're gonna go with, whoops, rock guitar. The Articulate DV Mark, which does well for these. I don't know what's up with our input. It's set wrong. That's what. Fix those two while we're at it. So this isn't a high gain thing, and we're gonna pull the gain down even more. But it's got a good mid-range curve, right? So that's the tone. I guess we can probably just take one of these and put it in here. Let's do this. So what I've done here is I've added in, I pulled the gain down totally kind of on that amp model. I pulled the bass out almost entirely too. And then I added my mix rack, which is, this comes out of Slate. You get all this stuff for that same price. I'll talk about like the prices of this stuff in a minute. But if you were to buy the same THU version that I'm using right now, which is basically like $150 per year, or $140 or something, you get all this stuff in addition to the amp. One of those things is the Neve EQ, which has a fantastic mid-range sound to it. So just a tiny bump in both of the mid-range frequencies on this channel. I pulled the bottom out, but we'll go ahead and low shelf it too. That's the tone of the mid channel. A lot of times too, it's better to do a different, guitar part entirely, and play more notes and stuff, but it doesn't matter. So which ones were we fooling with? That's the THU. So let's bring in the center channel. So you can hear that. I'm gonna turn it off. No center channel, on. Tiny reverb on the center channel, and look at that big fat guitar. With the inclusion of a mid-gainy center channel guitar, I still land back on the Overloud. The SLO 100 is definitely the second choice. This guy comes in number 2. This guy comes in number 3. And then the other two, the Tim Henson and the Abasi ones, those are like really just, those are special. Like if you're a totally metal guy, Abasi's all day long. And probably several other of the Neural plugins, like they seem to tend towards metal a little bit. The Tim Henson one, if you like to do all the tappy crazy effects and play with delays and stuff, and don't want to set up all that delay stuff yourself, all the programs have them, you can totally make a cool delay thing to bounce everything around, then maybe get that. That might be your jam. I don't think I will be purchasing any of the Neural plugins because the THU one is so good. Because basically, the Neural ones, you're going to pay, I think, 100 to 150 pounds per, for each plugin, and which is like $150 to $200 American for each one. And for that same price, I get the Slate stuff, which is what I just pulled up here. This is the Overloud version that I have. If you want to get the full version of Overloud by THU by Overloud, rather, the full version is it's like $300 or a little more even. In the Slate Everything bundle, which is what I use for all my plugins, it's like right now it's $140 per year, which that's per year. It's a subscription, but like after the first year you have it, you'll be like, take my money, because you get. Of course, in the amp modeler, if you wanted this amp modeler that I have, as it is right here, this is what it looks. This is all the stuff that's like in it. There's a well capable modeler, and to me, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the tones were a little better in this. There's a digitally You know, I'm a plugin. I'm a guitar plugin sound, like crispy, janky dirtiness, fuzziness that I was hearing on those Neural plugins. That I haven't heard that in a while, and I was kind of surprised to hear that. Maybe, I don't know. Someone else comment. I don't like that, but anyways, I mean, they're good. They're really good. But so you get all that in the Overloud thing, but you also get Anna2, this ridiculous synthesizer I use. That's my main synth all the time, and all these plugins, compressors, EQs, reverbs, everything. All models of real gear, console models. I mean, dude, there's so many amazing pieces of gear are represented in that right there. You get all this stuff, and I'm not getting paid by Slate to say any of this. And you get more into this whole killer car. I use these plugins all the time. They're amazing. A whole suite of plugins. Plus, if you don't know how to use anything, miles of content available to you to teach you how. And there's also the sample libraries. There's more samples than I could ever probably want to use. And now I'm just on a Slate sales pitch, which is pretty lame. But so that's my plugin findings, I guess. I've given the several of the Neural plugins a pretty good shot over the past half a day here, and that's where I landed with it. So you may like it. Try that stuff out. If you if you want to try something a little more robust and flexible and cost effective, I think look into Overloud, THU, and really the most cost effective way to do that would probably be to go through Slate and do their thing, and get all of the stuff, like Jesus. So anyways, cheers, have a good one, see ya.